They say an early season snowstorm may be on deck in less than 48 hours, but today is picture-perfect fall football weather. Crisp and cool at Soldier Field in the Windy City. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Looking to throw, Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. On play action, Lawrence. This one swung out to Montgomery. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a throw here to his running back, and he's taken down inside the 30.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the Colts are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against an interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But
this is caught at the 20. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. A big play there for Indy. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On the handoff, Taylor. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
His pass caught at the 4. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. On second down, it's Taylor. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. A great move by Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there on the catch and run. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. That nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Sterling Shepard. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point safely through. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone. And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now a give to Taylor. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable. Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down. They go play action here on 1st down. The throw for Tony is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, Last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Lawrence to throw. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Touchdown! David Montgomery, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And the ball is free. Taylor lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Always cost. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for Indy. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
On third down, here's Taylor. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about depending on which foot the official...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. His second rushing touchdown of the year and third overall. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Lawrence will throw. Going up top. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled out a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. On the handoff, this is Taylor. Dances by at the 20. And down inside the 15 he goes. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. He's at the 50. 30. 10. And they will score a pick 6 for the Bears touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Man, how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead is now 21-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early. to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On second down, it's Taylor. Powers through him. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 5. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Campbell downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Colts. Dalton Schultz as the first half is winding down. And the Colts have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and we are tied here in the second quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. Flush to his right. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Well, you know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
On second down now, it's Taylor, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, He is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat, in every meeting with reporters. This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 84 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that'll be caught by Tony. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the third quarter, those turnovers can change the tide of the ball game. And now it's up to their defense to try and bail them out. Got to take care of the rock.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they work this out past the 25.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out of practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Lawrence. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
2nd and 1. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 134 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Colts add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. They'll let Taylor try and run. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On the move to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They'll run on 1st down. Taylor, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. He'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Again, it's Taylor. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Colts look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Now Blankenship on for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Next to score, Colts 42, Bears 21.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They go play action with Lawrence. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Flushed out right. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Second down, another run with Taylor. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Boy, 203 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not 1 drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball.